So, you found a part of the VO gig landscape that you feel you fit into, enjoy even. Maybe you're even getting consistent work in it. Awesome. You've finally found that VO unicorn. Your niche. You can finally drop out of the 24/7 hustle mode and coast, right? Yeah, let's maybe talk about that before your coasting starts to cost you.
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
Attention!
How you doing, everybody? I'm Andrew Scott, and you're back at Booth Camp. So today, I wanted to ask you something. Now, this question applies to both working VO folks as well as those new voices trying to get some traction in the home VO industry. It's a pretty significant question that I think everybody in VO should regularly ask themselves, but often don't, especially when things are actually going pretty well. Are you limiting yourself? Now, you may raise an eyebrow at this, especially if you're just starting out. How can I be limiting myself if I'm not even getting hired yet? Established talent may raise their other eyebrow, which admittedly might look a little odd, but they might say, things are going good and I'm getting gigs and money. That's success, right? Well, success to one person isn't success to all. But no argument if you're happy with the progress you've made. But again, are you limiting yourself? Specifically, are you limiting your potential by the choices you're making? So you've heard me talk before about finding a niche or finding your niche. Niches are nice to find. It's sort of like that awkward first week at high school when one day you finally find that group of kids to hang out and launch spoonfuls of overcooked peas at lunch. Feeling like you belong somewhere is a powerful thing. It tends to anchor you, give you identity, and make you feel like you have a purpose. Valuable in school, valuable in VO, no question. But just as with high school, staying too deeply rooted in one community without looking around to see what's happening in others tends to make you rather myopic. These are my people, this is my world, this is where I'm valued, so I probably shouldn't stray too far away because this is obviously where I belong. And to carry that school analogy further, we all remember the rotten cousin of the niche, the clique. Now, as I see it, a clique is a niche that's gotten ugly. It's gotten so into itself that it's become exclusionary, insular, and, well, yeah. A clique is sort of a niche that's gotten addicted to itself. And there's always that one kid who wants to do a bit more than the niche will allow. Maybe it's that one kid that loves theater but hangs out with the auto shop bros, or the girl on the prom committee that really likes the math Olympics, or, yeah, that one guy with the gamer nerds who really wants to play basketball. We all remember how fun high school was, right? All right. How does this walk down memory lane apply to you and your VO career at whatever stage of it you may be at? So when I started VO full-time back in about 2015, I had thought that I had a pretty decent idea of where I'd fit in. I'd worked in both broadcasting and sound engineering before and felt that I'd just sort of pick up from where I left off, commercials and radio imaging. And to be fair, I did get work in that shortly after plugging my mic back in. That muscle memory was still there, albeit a bit stiff, but I got it going again without too much difficulty. But with the changes in the broadcast landscape in the recent few decades, there was a bit less of my style of voice work desired. So that meant fewer opportunities for me than I assumed there'd be. One day, I got an auto invite on a P2P site asking me to audition for a pretty well-paying gig for a voicemail system. This gig was priced at, well, let's just say that it would pay for months of internet broadband. Honestly, it was about a year's worth. How can doing a phone message be priced so high? Anyway, I thought, it's really not my thing, but what the hell, I don't have anything else going on. I'll give it a shot. No harm in trying. They included an obviously generified script that totaled about 100 words, so I did a few takes, put some polish on it, and sent it off. I didn't hear back for a week. That was no big deal and no big surprise to me because the site that I was on allowed talent to see roughly how many applicants there were, and I was just shy of triple digits by the time I submitted. But when I checked back in at about day 8, I noticed that I'd been shortlisted. Now, long story short, I didn't land that gig, but the agency that was casting reached out to me and said that they appreciated the audition and the obvious effort I put into it to make it sound good, even for an audition take. The issue was that the client wanted a much lower voice to be more in line with the original voice who did the last version, who was now MIA. We exchanged back and forth pleasantries, and once we dropped into a less formal flow of conversation, I flat out asked them why the budget for this was so high. They responded that this wasn't merely a voicemail system. It was for an IVR, or interactive voice response system, for a company with hundreds of employees that required hundreds and hundreds of responses, queries, alphanumeric readouts, and all that jazz. With all the separate files and all the editing, this job would have easily taken me a solid week of work. So 40 hours at my base rate per hour? Do the math. That's less of a VO gig and more in line with an audiobook. So, 2 things here to button this portion up. First off, I'd never even considered this area of VO as a thing for me. I envisioned myself as a traditional announcer, FM radio style guy. Why would I be thinking about IVR and voicemail systems? Well, the answer came in about a week later, when that same company reached back out to me and offered me a gig for a massive hospital in the Midwest that was twice the size of the first one. And twice the size equals, that's right, twice the money. This gig was 3 solid weeks worth of work and paid for a lot of studio upgrades. And groceries. And Christmas. If I would have just stayed comfortably down in my self-identified niche, waiting for work I thought I was suited for, the place where I thought I belonged and was valued, I'd have never gotten this IVR gig, and the gig that I got after that, and then the one that followed. I guess I am an IVR guy after all. Who knew? Well, apparently, the market did. Don't get so mentally attached to a niche, even a niche you prefer or even enjoy, that you're passing up opportunities to grow, to get traction, to profit from. Be willing to audition for things that you don't think that you might be good at or suit or be hired for. There are a number of niches that I don't personally enjoy working in, but that I keep getting gigs in because the market keeps wanting me there. As I said, do I enjoy the content? No. What I do enjoy is the work. Stop looking at yourself as an anime voice or an announcer guy or a fan dubber. A solid VO talent should be able to do many different reads and delivery styles and work in multiple niches and genres, even if 1 or 2 of them are their main jam, because I'll let you in on a little secret. No matter what niche it's from, the money smells the same. Hey, don't forget to drop in and hang out with me and the other campers over on our Discord at the link below. And yeah, like, click, and subscribe, etc., and maybe leave a comment below. But until next time, I'm Andrew Scott, and you've been at Booth Camp. See you next time, campers. Bye-bye.
Dismissed.